Skeletons are funny. I think the entire internet agrees with me on this. Skeletons in video games have existed in some form or fashion since, well, forever. Even the first video games that had complex graphics had skeletons in some form, and I like them enough to the point where I have a few favorites. While these are simplistic in nature, they all basically look the same to some degree, I just like them, and I think they are quite neat. Up first is the Minecraft skeleton. This one's an obvious and classic pick. I feel really weird saying Minecraft is classic. It has a pretty good model that is cartoony, yet has semi-realistic details. It's a hostile mob, obviously. I guarantee all of you have played Minecraft, so you know how Minecraft mobs work, so I don't really need to break that down. It has a bow and arrow, and can ride spiders on occasion through the spider jockey, although this is kind of rare. It's a fun skeleton that, while simple, gets everything right despite the fact that it's not super detailed. Up next is a particularly fun one, because at the number 2 spot, I have a tie. I have played a good amount of Valve games over the years. There was a significant portion of my life where I played little but Valve and Source Engine games and mods because of my crappy laptop that could only run those well, along with a lot of id Software's older lineup. Garry's Mod and Quake 3 are games that I have played in particular for an extensive amount of time, with most of my time in Quake 3 being playing the single player over and over again because that challenge ladder is literal perfection, and trying to do my own Gmod realism in some form or fashion because in Gmod that is where I've spent most of my time. That being said, Garry's Mod and Quake 3 Arena, in my opinion, have some of my favorite video game skeletons, mainly because both of them are just incredibly goofy, just in different ways. The Gmod skeleton, which I believe comes from Half-Life 2 in its episodes, is cartoony as all get out despite it looking realistic, like most things in Source Engine games. It lacks hands, which is funny to me because how it's going to use anything is beyond me, and when you select it in the player model screen, it uses the zombie animations. It's a simple model, but enjoyable, that has showed up in many workshop add-ons, and I have a lot of nostalgia for it despite how simplistic it is. The Quake 3 skeleton is the polar opposite because it doesn't look realistic at all, but is even more silly than the Garry's Mod one. He is bright blue for some reason. I know there's a normal version, but I use the bright blue version because I think it's funnier. He makes bone-rattling noises when he jumps, among other sounds, and is just downright goofy. I love him, and he is my default Quake 3 player model outside of Visor and Doom Guy. Before I get to the number 1 spot, I want to tell a little story. Doom has been one of my favorite game franchises of all time. I have easily sunk several thousand hours into the series over my lifetime, and I will not stop anytime soon. So obviously, there could be only one enemy that fits the bill. The Revenant. Just fucking look at him. He's so fucking silly. His dinky little missile launchers, his weird chest armor diaper vest, and that is either blood or a really weird set of capri leggings. I just love him. His homing rockets combined with his punch are fun to fight against, and he's just goofy. If you want to deal with the Revenant, play Plutonia Experiment or Basic Doom 2 if you haven't already. Mostly Plutonia though, because there are so many Revenants in that level set that they basically replace the basic imp. At least it feels like it anyway. Overall, he is my favorite. He is so silly, and all of these are silly. I just like skeletons because I think they're funny. And aside from all the medical shit, I think they're neat. I absolutely adore them whenever they show up in video games. Thank you all, and have a great night.